In this impactful near-death experience, Zakary Blackwood, a former homosexual, discovers a terrifying truth about life after death that completely transformed his life. What he witnessed will leave you speechless. My name is Zakary Blackwood, I am 47 years old, and I live in Burlington, Vermont. Before telling you what I experienced, it's important to understand who I was and how I reached this life-changing event. I lived in a cozy house near Lake Champlain, worked as a graphic designer at a local advertising agency, and had been in a stable 3-year relationship with Marcus. My life was comfortable, surrounded by friends, with no major worries. I never questioned my lifestyle or beliefs. Although I was raised Catholic, religion hadn't been part of my life for years. To me, if God existed, he would surely accept me just as I was. That morning began like any other. I was driving to work in my Subaru, savoring my usual caramel macchiato, while the colors of autumn painted the landscape. I had just finished a call with Marcus, organizing our weekend plans, when it happened. A massive moose appeared on the road. While moose accidents aren't uncommon in Vermont, nothing prepares you for seeing a 700 kilograms animal standing in front of your car. I swerved to avoid it, but at 100 kilometers per hour, I lost control of the vehicle. My car rolled down an embankment, hitting several trees before stopping at the bottom of a ravine. The last thing I remember was my coffee cup flying through the air. The crash was devastating. The driver's side was completely crushed, leaving me trapped between the steering wheel and the seat. Later, I learned that a truck driver saw my car's taillights and called 911. The rescue was complicated. The steep terrain made it difficult for paramedics to reach me. It took them over an hour to extract me from the wreckage. My injuries were severe: 4 broken ribs, a punctured lung, internal bleeding, and a serious head trauma. I was airlifted to the University of Vermont Medical Center. The doctors told me I had died twice during the flight, once for 3 minutes and another for 4. During those minutes when my heart stopped, I experienced something extraordinary. What I lived through was not a dream or hallucination. It was so vivid and real that it completely changed my understanding of life and death. I felt my spirit separate from my body. From above, I could see the paramedics working frantically to save me. However, I felt strangely detached, as if I were watching the scene from a safe distance. Then, a tunnel appeared. It wasn't the warm, welcoming light that many describe in similar experiences. It was a dark, terrifying vortex that pulled me with an indescribable force. Colors I had never seen swirled around me, and a deep hum resonated through my entire being. As I moved through the tunnel, an overwhelming feeling of exposure consumed me. It felt as if every action of my life was being revealed, one by one. Every lie, every selfish decision, every person I had hurt appeared before me with a physical weight I could feel. The most painful realization was seeing how my relationship with Marcus, which I had always defended as genuine love, was actually causing spiritual harm to both of us. Every intimate moment we shared appeared as dark stains on our souls, tarnishing what I believed to be a pure bond. I also saw my childhood, remembering how I felt different from other kids. The confusion, fear, and defiance of traditional values I had been taught now appeared in a new light. Every step I took away from my initial religious upbringing had led me further from the truth. This introspection felt like it lasted hours, although it was likely only seconds in real time. Suddenly, everything stopped. I found myself in a vast, indescribable space. There was no darkness or light, just pure existence. There, I encountered an overwhelming presence, Jesus Christ. His love and authority were beyond words. He didn't speak directly, but his message flowed into my consciousness like a stream of undeniable truth. He showed me how my lifestyle, which I thought was natural and good, was actually in opposition to his divine design. I saw how my choices didn't just affect my soul but also those I had encouraged to live similarly. Jesus showed me countless souls trapped in a waiting place. These souls were neither in heaven nor hell but in a kind of limbo, unable to move forward because they refused to accept the truth. Among them were many religious people who had justified their choices by misinterpreting scripture. Jesus also allowed me to glimpse hell. It wasn't a place of fire and demons, but of complete separation from God's love. I understood that hell wasn't an arbitrary punishment but the natural consequence of choosing to live apart from him. Then, Jesus revealed the beauty of his divine design for sexuality. The union between man and woman is a reflection of deep spiritual truths. I saw how deviating from this design, celebrated as cultural progress, was actually a deception leading souls away from salvation. Finally, Jesus presented me with two paths. In one, I continued living as I had, facing the eternal consequences of my choices. In the other, I accepted the truth, changed my life, and helped others do the same. Despite my fear and uncertainty, I chose to return. Jesus assured me that my testimony would serve as a tool to guide others to him, even if it meant facing rejection and criticism. I woke up in the hospital with a new perspective. While the physical healing process was painful, the hardest part was explaining my experience to Marcus. Our relationship could not continue, and although it hurt us both, I knew this change was necessary. I found support in a church that helped me transform my life. My same-sex attractions didn't disappear immediately, but now I had the strength and understanding to resist them. Today, I lead a support group for people seeking to reconcile their identity with God's design. My near-death experience taught me that true love doesn't mean accepting everything but guiding others toward the truth, even when it's difficult. Though I lost my former life, I gained something far more valuable: the peace of living according to God's will.